All right, well, welcome back to the Fox, my friend. Thank you so much for doing this, man. I know that you didn't need to do it because, let's be honest, you're Tom, man, and you're completely sold out. So,
well, thanks very much. It's a real pleasure to be here, and especially happy to be here because this was the Vancouver show was the first show to sell out on the Fabled City tour, so I'm really psyched. And I think the second night, we had a second night, and I'm not sure if that's sold out yet.
I think there's only a few tickets left, if anything. They always release like 50, 100 tickets before the show kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the last time that you were here, it was for Audioslave, and it was backstage GM Place. There was me, there was Danger, you, and Tim C. So, you know, dude, man.
Oh, I remember that.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, okay, well, now I've got Tom Morello. It's the day after the election. There's so many things to talk about. We've got, obviously, the election, Rage Against the Machine, Audioslave, your stuff with the Nightwatchman. Where do you want to start, man?
This is your special time, whatever you want to do.
All right, well, let's start with what's on everybody's mind with the election. What are your thoughts, man?
I mean, I never thought I'd live to see the day, honestly. Even at the last minute, my friends were texting me, and as it looked like Obama was going to be, I was like, they're going to find some way, you know. For a country like the United States, whose history is so steeped in racism, to be able to elect a somewhat progressive African American to the highest office in the land is a huge step towards civilization. And I think that for those of us who believe in human rights and social and economic justice and peace, that we're going to have to continue to push and to struggle for the things that we believe in. You can't take anything for granted, and I also think it's going to take a lot of undoing the pride and the ignorance and the meanness of the Bush administration is going to take a lot of work, not just in the White House, but from other people as well.
But it certainly is a step in the right direction.
Hell yeah, incredible! It's like I really can't believe it. I can't believe it.
So when's the album coming out with all of the? Because there's got to be an album's worth of material from this election alone. When's that
I'll
coming
tell
out,
you, it's a little bit more difficult because bad presidents tend to make for good music. That's why it's been such fertile times over the last 8 years.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how Obama does. I'm not so good at writing. Oh, we're very psyched about the election.
Boy,
what does that rhyme with?
So when did you pick up your first guitar and go holy crap, this is a love affair. I know what I'm doing.
Well, when I first picked up the guitar, I was 13 years old, and I hated it. It was I paid my $5 for a guitar lesson. I was like, teach me Detroit Rock City. And they're like, no, Tommy, today we're going to teach you to tune the guitar. I thought that was a huge waste of time. But I thought, you know what, I'll pay my dues. I'll pay my dues. So I spend all week learning how to tune the guitar, and I come back, give him my next $5. I'm like, great, I know how to tune the thing. Now let's do Detroit Rock City. He's like, well, this week, Tommy, we're going to learn the C major scale. And I said, this isn't for me. This isn't for me. And I put it down for 4 years until I got Nevermind the Bollocks, and then I picked it back up.
Well, I want to know some of the bands like on your iPod, and maybe not necessarily on your iPod, but bands that you really like that maybe aren't necessarily getting a lot of radio play or a lot of recognition. That kind of thing.
Well, I mean, some of these I love Bright Eyes, Conor Oberst and Bright Eyes. I love the Arcade Fire. Trying to think what else is on there lately. I got that new Dylan Bootleg Volume 8 series, which is it's like one of the best Dylan records. It's the stuff that he didn't think was good enough to put on his other records.
Meanwhile,
he's wrong. That's pretty amazing, the stuff that he leaves off of records.
Dude, I want to know, is there going to be a new Rage Against the Machine album?
No plans for it. None whatsoever.
Nothing.
No, sorry.
Have you heard?
You should see the crestfallen look on your face.
No, I know. I'm like everybody right now is the same thing.
Yeah.
But
we played shows over the course of the last year and a half, and it was awesome. We had a great time. It's likely we'll continue to play shows because we had such a good time doing it.
Yeah.
And right now I'm concentrating on this, doing the Nightwatchman stuff, and it's likely we will play more shows because we had such a fun time.
Cool. How many Rage Against the Machine and how many Audioslave songs and stuff do you have that the general public isn't privy to? Is there a ton of stuff
Rage
out there?
songs? Maybe none. And
really?
I mean, there might be one or two. But all that stuff's out there. I mean, all of it's bootleg. Rage didn't record any more material than was released. And with Audioslave, there's a bunch of stuff.
Cool. Yeah, any chance of that actually seeing?
Maybe at some point, yeah.
You're open to it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course.
Good. There's jams.
And a ride to the rhyme of the unheard. What you say, what you say, what you say, what?